Hello everybody, Xyvox here, and today we're going to talk to you about forestry in Farming Simulator 19. In part 1 of this tutorial, we are going to cover how to plant trees, all the different ways in which you can cut down a tree, and stump removal. Let's get started. First thing we're going to talk about today is planting trees. So if you go under tools, under forestry equipment, and you come across the PL75, this is 26,000. It only takes 120 horsepower to run, so that's a small tractor, and it plants the long straight trees, which we are going to talk to today. Just one straight line. I'm going to show you here in a second. What's going to happen is you're going to take a pallet. The pallet's going to load right here on these rails, and it's just going to plant on the back side of this planter. So I'm going to go ahead and lease this. And you're going to need some kind of tree. So if you go underneath objects under pallets and you go to pallet samplings and you go ahead and buy that. And I already have a tractor, so I'm going to go ahead and hook up to it. If I can do this, and there you go, and then you hit your refill button. For me it's R on the top left if you need help in the help menu. Okay, and it's loaded. I'm going to meet you at the field and I'm going to show you how this works. We are at the field and we are lined up. We have 20 tree samplings already ready to go. If you check down below in the bottom right, and all you have to do is turn it on and then just lower it and drive straight. And if you're on a field, you can hire a worker and he will just go ahead and plant trees as he goes. It will take 12 days for these trees to fully grow. And when they're fully grown, they will look something like that over there. Now, depending on your computer and your specs, you may not want to do something like this. You do keep in mind that after cutting down a bunch of trees, your computer is going to lag a little bit, so be wary of that. All right, on to the next step. I forgot to mention that you do not just need to plant them on the field. You can do these anywhere as long as you own the field. So you can just turn it on, lower it, and drive straight. Also, they don't need to be watered. There's no fertilizer needed. You don't need to do any like weed protection on these trees. They will just grow in 12 days. My growth speed is on normal, so that is 12 days with normal. Okay, on to the next step. Okay, the first way of cutting down trees is really just the manual cutting of trees with chainsaw. So if you go to tools, chainsaw, you're going to see 4 different options. They all work the same. Just pick the one you like the best. I kind of think the CS410 for $1,000 looks pretty nice, so I'm gonna go ahead and buy that, and it will just show up in your inventory. So if you just scroll the mouse wheel, it will show up, or you press 1 or 2, it will show up. And how this works is you go up to the tree, you crouch down, and then you can just turn it. So if you hold your button, you can turn it and you will see that little ring show up. You want to get it as close as you can to the ground, and I think this is a good spot. And then you just hold the button and it will cut. And then you turn it back. And next thing you're going to want to do is clean up these branches. So if you just hold the button and go up the tree, this will clean up all the branches. Might glitch out just a little bit, but just move it around. And there you go. And for the tips, you just cut it off real quick. Okay. It's all nice and cleaned and ready to go. Okay, so if you're cutting the tree down, you're probably going to want to cut it to length. You can just eyeball it, which I've done here, and let me show you real quick if you wanted to cut it. So you just go up to it, it will glow green when it's ready to cut, and then you will just begin cutting. right? But if you want to lift up manually, you're not going to be able to do it. This one's way too heavy. These are about probably about the size that you're going to be able to lift, which that's not going to really gonna work if you have a lot to take care of. So what you will probably want to do is take your trailer of choice and kind of drive it up next to the log and then just line it up and say like right there will probably be where I want to cut it. And now it's at length, and you can just keep driving the tractor up forward and keep cutting it to length and then load it up. I do know there was a bit of testing about how long these logs need to be. I usually like to keep it around 8 meters to 6 meters. I'm not going to be able to show you this because I do not have the mod that will show you how long this is, but later on when I show you the Scorpion King, I can show you how long 8 meters is. But if you're doing it manually, this is the way you would want to go. And here is a little example of logs I have cut to length. I've already moved this truck into place, and then if you just get out and you would just look at where it's at, you do not want it to be butt up. I know this can take about 6 meters, so I want to say right here, and then you would just cut right here, and now you know this log will fit in this trailer. You would just lift it up, load it up, and then drive straight a little bit more, line it up, and rinse and repeat. And yeah, I just wanted to show you that example. The next tool we're going to talk to you today is under forestry equipment, and this is a TR3200. This is $5,400. It takes 60 horsepower to run, and this will go on the front or the back side of your tractor. So I already have one on my tractor, and to get this one going, you're first going to need to lift the full little mouthpiece, and then you want to turn it on, and then you want to lower it. And unlike the chainsaw, which will leave a huge stump, this will cut clear to the ground. So just drive straight. And there you go. That's a small stump. And if you had a smaller tree, that stump would be even smaller, and you can get most of the tree and sell it if you need to. Oh, and this does tilt up and down. And just to show you that if you go to these full-size trees, it does not work towards the bottom. You really got to go all the way to the top to get this to work. And that kind of feels like it's a waste. It's kind of strange how it works. It's kind of finicky. But yeah, in order to do this, you got to go all the way to the top to cut. So let's show you again. Another example is we go straight and it doesn't work. You keep driving straight, it's gonna go up until it kind of fits in, and then you kind of like swivel it up and down, and maybe it might work, but it's real finicky. And really, I think this is made for smaller trees. The next tools I'm going to show you are actually for the skid steer. If you're curious where the skid steer is, if you go under vehicles and you go down to the bottom right, you can see the skid steer loaders. There are 2 of them, and in my opinion, there isn't really a major difference as far as gameplay. In this game, I am going to be using the L218 at $35,000. It's 61 horsepower and it goes 11 miles per hour, so it's really slow. That is the one I'm going to be using for the next 2 tools. Okay, so for the first tool, you can find it under tools, under skid steer loaders in the tool section, and you go to the right and you will find this. This is a CFB16. This is $12,000. And ideally what this would do, this will work on small to medium-ish trees, and it will actually grab onto the tree and it will cut it at its base, and you can actually lift up the entire tree and move it where you want to go. This does not work very well in my opinion, but I'm going to try to show you an example right now. So I am here. I have found a tree that I want to use for example. You can see here that this has like 3 arms. 2 of them work together. You can open and close them. So the first one will grab onto the tree, and then the second one will also do the same and grab on, and you can turn it on and off. And so what you would do is you would go to a tree like this one, a small one that it can hold on to, and get it as low as you can, and then you would try to maneuver it to where the top portion kind of butts up to it, and then you close one of the arms like so, not too tight or it'll glitch out, and close the other one. There you go, it's in place, and then turn it on, and turn it back off, and now you have the tree and you can maneuver it around. This is not going to work for large trees, and it may not even work for medium trees because of how large the tree is and how small the skid steer is. But you can maneuver it around. You can take it where you want to go. Like for instance, if I wanted to take it over here for processing, this is pretty easy to do for small trees. And this is kind of where I'm dumping the trees right now. So you would kind of just dump it forward like so, and then release the arms. That's one, and oh, there's two, and there you go. That is the first tool for skid steers. Okay, so the second tool we're going to talk to you today is the RT3000. This is $9,400. It will load onto the skid steer in the front, and this one is great in my opinion. If you just wanted to cut down trees and that was it, this is a good way to go. This will cut down all trees, and it does it really fast. So I'm going to meet you at the field and show you how this works. Okay, so I'm at the field with the RT3000, and you just turn it on and lower it a little bit and drive straight, and that's it. That's all you have to do to cut down trees. It's really fast, it's really simple. I even think you can get all the way down if you really wanted to. Looks like you can't. You gotta lift it up a little bit until you get the little animation, then you know you're cutting. And there you go. That is the RT3000. Okay, so the next three vehicles that we're going to talk to are actually in forestry machines. These three right here. Now, we need to talk about something else real quick. As a side note, we're at the point to where these are extremely slow. 9 miles an hour, 12 miles per hour, 12 miles per hour. If you need to go clear across the map, you're not going to want to drive these yourself. You can slow boat it. I have done it in the past, but there is another way that I need to mention. If you have a truck and you get a low loader like so, I'm gonna go ahead and lease this just to use it as an example. You can just take your truck or your piece of equipment and drive it onto this. So you would just attach it, you would extend it. Let's see if I can figure this out. There you go. You would extend it like so, and then you would drop it. And then you can drive your equipment onto the back of the low loader and then hook it back up, and then you can transport it wherever you want to go. So I just wanted to show you this real quick just to give you a kind of idea how you would transport this, because these next couple vehicles are really slow and you may not want to drive them clear across the map. Okay, on to the next one. Okay, so we're going into logging like professionally, and the first vehicle that we're going to talk about is the HR46X. This is 275,000. This is 168 horsepower. It only goes 9 miles per hour. It's really slow, like I said. And what this will do is for medium trees, medium to small trees, and it has to be the straight trees. This will grab on and it will cut it to length, and you can just cut up the logs as you go, as long as you're using medium to small trees. Okay, so you can change the tread, so you can use wide tires and regular tires. And I'm gonna go ahead and lease this. The leasing cost is $14,000. Okay, and to give you an example of how this low loader would work is you would drive it onto it. If I can drive. Okay, and that is good. And then you would just take your truck, you would back onto the low loader attachment, and you are good to go. All right, I'm going to meet you at the field and show you how this works. All right, so we are at the field, and this tree is in its last stage before it goes into a full-size tree. And this arm can move to the right and left. It can go up and down, and it can extend. And in order to operate this, you need to turn it on. Oh, and one last thing is this can actually cut to length. So right now it is at 1 meter. So if you look in the top left, you can actually change this. My button is Y, and go to 2, 3, all the way up to 6 meters, which I'm going to leave it there. And the harvester is on, so you drive straight or get your cutter into position, and when it's ready it will tell you to cut the log. So let me see if I can get this correct. What I had to do is lift it up a little bit, and now if you look in the top left, you can see that cut is now in the help menu, and you hit cut. And what I like to do is turn it to the right, drive back a little bit, and now if you hit your cut button again, you can cut it to length. And you lift it up a little bit. Let's see if I can get this to lift up. There you go, like that. That way it doesn't bump into the logs, and you can cut it to length. You do not want to drop this. If you do happen to drop this, let's say you turn it off for some reason and you drop it, you cannot lift up the log again. So do not drop it. Just continue cutting till you're all the way done. And there you go. This is the first one. The next one we're going to talk to you today is a 931 XE. This is $435,000. It goes 12 miles per hour and it has 251 horsepower. This one does all the trees, so it can do small, medium, and large straight trees. And just for a little bonus, you can change the wheels to where it has these little tire tracks on them. And I'm going to go ahead and lease this one for $22,593. Okay, and I will meet you at the field and show you how this works. All right, we're at the field, and this one has all the same range of motion, even more so with this one as the other one. It can go left, right, up, down, it can extend. And the main difference with this one is that it can do large tree, full size tree, and it can cut up to 8 meters. So I'm gonna go ahead and turn this on and then drive up to the tree. Actually, I'm gonna bring it down a little bit. Up, up, up to the side. Now I can cut just like the other one. I'm gonna drive straight. I'm gonna turn it to the right because that's the way I want to go, and then lift it up a little bit and just cut. And just like the other one, this one can cut to length, but it can cut up to 8 meters. This is way faster, and in my opinion, this is the way to go if you're gonna do this for money. So let's go on to the next one. Okay, so the last one I'm going to show you is the Scorpion King. This is $440,000. It goes 12 miles per hour, just like the other one. They're pretty much like brother and sister, or red team, yellow team. They pretty much do the same thing. This one has 286 horsepower, and you can also add the treads to the tire if you want to. And if you were to lease this one as it is, it will cost you $22,848. I am going to go ahead and get this and meet you at the field. Okay, I am at the field, and just like the other one, it has the same range of motion. It moves on all axes. It can go up, down, forward, back, to the left and the right, and it can cut up to 8 meters. It's still the same. So if you were to use this, you would just drive straight and then probably go as low as you can. Let's see, right there looks like a good one. And then you cut, and then you turn to the right, and you can go to the other pile if you want to, like this, and lift it up so you don't get it in the way, and you can cut it just like the old one. And that is a Scorpion King. Okay, the next thing we need to talk about is stump removal. Okay, so the first tool we're talking about for getting rid of those stumps is actually for the skid steer. And you go to the skid steer loaders under tools, and you go to the right until you get to the stump grinder. This is $2,500, and this will go on the front of the skid steer, and it will grind up the stumps. I am already at the field to show you how this works. And you just turn it on, lift it up, and you drive to your stump. You needed to play that animation. So as soon as you see the animation going, it is working. So let me get it into, there you go, the animation is going. and it will grind up the stump. The first little layer is gone. Now the second layer, you just keep bringing it down. Keep going down. And that stump is gone. It's really fast, really easy, and it only costs $2,500. There is one more way. We're going to talk about that way next. Okay, for the second way and the last way is actually under forestry equipment, and this is the ST65T. This is $5,000 and it only runs 70 horsepower to run this, and this will go on the front or the back of your tractor. I already have one on my tractor. I'm going to show you how this goes. So you go and line yourself up, and then you can lower it, and this one can actually move left and right and up and down. But after you're already lined up, you turn it on, and then you go down until the animation goes, and that's it. And then you can pick it up, drive to your next one, lower it again, put it into place, and go. And that's how you get rid of stumps. And this is the first part of my series in forestry. This is only covering planting, cutting the trees, and stump removal. I want to thank you guys for watching. If you like this video, please leave a like and subscribe. If you have any questions, please leave a comment down below and I will get to them as they come. My name is Xyvox, and you guys all have a very nice day.